All right. Welcome to the live stream, everybody. We've got a brand new all-time high break. Bitcoin on the 1 minute time frame here on the right-hand side, sitting at $125,300. There we go. Now you can see the screen. Let me know if you can see everything okay and if you can hear everything okay. Let me get the chat pulled up. How we doing today, ladies and gents? Welcome back to another live stream. Just let me know. Let me get a quick audio and visual check. Can you guys hear me okay and see me okay? I'm having weird connectivity issues right now on my side. And actually, that's why we were late to start as well. But hear you perfect. Perfect. Very good. Very good. Very good. Yeah, I don't know. I've got weird connection issues right now. It's bound to happen if Bitcoin's at an all-time high, of course. Binance, huge inflows for a weekend. Sound and vision, nice. Last time sound was bad. Oh, okay. Interesting. I didn't change anything, as far as I know. The microphone might be in a different place, though. But yeah, ladies and gents, welcome back to another live stream. Bitcoin is at an all-time high. So, happy all-time high, ladies and gents. We definitely saw this coming. Smash up the likes for a new all-time high, you legends. Smash them up. You already know the deal. We've got to get this thing up to 50 and then 100. Wakes the live stream up. Gets things going. Smash them up if you're hyped up for this brand new all-time high. And we are streaming at an unusual time. So, where are you guys watching from today? Let me know in the live chat. Good morning from Ibiza. That is sick, dude. You live in a very, very cool place. I've got a friend in Ibiza. I've never been there. I need to go and check it out. Belgium, Seattle, Australia. What's going on, Australia? I don't get to catch you guys often, do I? Do I? No, I don't think I do. I think I usually stream when it's like 3 a.m. for you guys or something. Lagos, Nigeria, what's up? Miami. What time is it in Miami, dude? Let's go Seattle and Hawaii. Dude, I want to go to Hawaii so bad. I want to see what Hawaii looks like. I'm so good. I've been to Bali and I did not like Bali. I did not like Bali. I was like, this is not like... Oh, you need to cope a lot to be okay with Bali. Newsom, California. What's up, ladies and gents? Smash up those likes as you are coming in. Let's get this thing above 50 right here. And Bitcoin just setting a brand new, fresh all-time high, popping from about 124 to 126. This all-time high seemingly just kind of came out of nowhere. The only trading session I could think of that's wide awake is going to be, you know, Asia. But do I want to blame this on, the Chinese or something? Not really. I don't think any of these moves have a particular, meaning behind them, and that's always what I've believed in these kind of circumstances is that, if we try to, read into them and be like, oh, it was the fucking Chinese today, or it was the Indians that banned crypto again, or whatever, that's a kind of endless pursuit of nonsense for people who don't understand how the market works. We do. We were live the last time this market heated up, which I think was 12 hours ago. And was it 12 hours ago? Hang on, let me check, because I went live right afterwards. Oh, a day and 12 hours. Maybe I'm completely wrong on that. I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, it was a video. Yeah, it was a video. That makes more sense. We were consolidating at a top. And that's what we were talking about in the last live stream. Over 100 people in. Welcome to the live stream, everyone. Smash up those likes as we are coming in. Better go to the Canary Islands. Went to Hawaii. Not much to see and way too expensive. And, the thing about expensive, man, is that, I don't even know how to understand what's happened. Because it's so expensive in America. Look at that. We got a dump right here on Bitcoin on the right-hand side. This is the 1 minute time frame, by the way. So we set an all-time high at 125.7, and we are currently at 125 flat. So we'll keep watching this as this continues to develop. There we go. That is intensifying. We're seeing that print on the hourly as well. But, I mean, who's concerned about this? We broke out from 124K. That level's $1,000 lower than where we are right now. So we're in a pretty good spot. But we will keep an eye on this dump and see how this develops. Of course, if we sweep that high, we're probably getting up toward 130K, which is very, very exciting. And I don't even think it matters how low Bitcoin goes for that to happen. I think that we are probably going to be seeing, you know, I mean, we've got the breakout now, and the breakout came in circumstances that, frankly, we haven't seen so far at this price level, right? And we were covering that in today's video. So shout out to those of you that are subscribed. Shout out to those of you that are smashing up those likes, getting us toward those first 50. You legends, the first 50. I appreciate it tons. You know, what we were covering in the last video, which I'm pretty sure did go out about 12 hours ago, we did see essentially, you know, quick rejections coming off this level consistently. And then it changed. And this time when we got up to this resistance level, we just kind of hung out. And we were speaking about that extensively on that last video. So again, huge shout out to those of you that did tune in for that one. Because this was quite obvious to see coming. That we're now in the best posture we've had. And it's not just the fact that we were consolidating, it's everything that goes into this. So, for Flash channel viewers, y'all don't sleep. This is the thing, dude. If Bitcoin's setting an all-time high, we're staying up, we're waking up early. You know, the dog is waking us up, dude, telling us Bitcoin's pumping, RSI is going overbought. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how it is, mate. But, you know, like, it's not only the fact that we consolidated at the top, which is always a really good sign for Bitcoin, but it's also the fact that this all-time high break resulted in, you know, a pretty serious, I mean, it's not, but, you know, like, still a noticeable 14% drop. And, you know, it also lasted 45 days. So, I mean, that's a pretty significant rejection. And off the back of that rejection, we just rally up like it was nothing this whole time. We've literally pulled off a 7-day, 15% rally. And most of it happened just up to here in 4 days, 5 days. A 14%, 13% move. Most of it happened in a very short space of time. Welcome to the live stream, everyone. Bitcoin has broken up above $125,000, and we have seen the beginning of a very small pullback here on the 1 minute time frame. This is it. This is the whole breakout. If you're just tuning in, this is the whole breakout. I didn't even cover this for those of you that were here from the beginning, because I'm still getting my bearings on this as well. I literally just saw it and jumped on stream. Only up season. Yes, sir. Yes, it is, mate. Welcome to the live stream, everybody. Let me know where you're watching from in the world. Smash up those likes as you are coming in. Welcome to the live stream. If you're new to the channel, this is Grounded Analysis. You're getting it like it is. You're not getting it a touch sweeter or a touch rougher. It's just how it is, mate. That's just what we're doing. You're just getting it how it is on this YouTube channel. And it's refreshing. And it's necessary. Because we're here to make money. We're not here to... yeah. Waste time. Samuel A. with the source says, amen, not every move is explainable. Exactly. It's not even that it's not explainable. It is. We've just explained it, right? We consolidated at the top. We had a massive bearish opportunity to drop the market. But guys, I want you to keep in mind, by the way, let's just, you know, like we've got the real-time chart playing on the right-hand side. So focus on this if, you know, you really want to know what's happening to Bitcoin. That's on the minute time frame. But if we take a look at Bitcoin on this, you know, from this particular perspective, and let's just go ahead and, you know, remove these because we don't really need these. I'll even replace this with a box because I don't really want to, you know, have these yellow lines just kind of floating around. And what I want to do... stretch this out. There we go. What I want to do is I want to demonstrate what this chart pattern tells us. You know, like if you are just watching the trend for what it is, the trend, and I mean in this case the midterm trend. So that's everything basically from, you know, like these little events here in between. I'd call all of this shit price, this price action. I call all of this short term. But then we form this big correctional wave here, and you know, this is where it starts looking a little bit more midterm to me, and then we continue it. So it's definitely midterm now. And long term would be basically we've got to sweep some long term levels. So, you know, what does that mean? A long term level would be this level here, you know, 98K. That would be a long term level. There's Bitcoin pulling off its first little bit of a recovery since this dump started. Let's keep a close eye on this on the right hand side of the screen. Of the stream and of the screen. We broke out of the descending triangle. I'm not sure if I know what you're talking about. We'll look at that in a second. But so this is what it was showing us. It was showing us essentially a midterm downtrend, right? You establish that downtrend here. You know, correct. And you correct directly into resistance. And then you come back down. And you're literally consolidating here the same way that you consolidated here, or the same way that you consolidated here, or this big one here that I can't draw, or this one. They're all the same, and they all continue downwards. This one too. This one also was the same, it just didn't continue downwards. Because not all of them will, right? Like, eventually, it's going to reverse. And what I'm saying is so fucking important. I should have prefaced this like a minute or two ago. What I'm saying right now is so important. If you don't know this, that's not good. We're too late into this market cycle for you to not know this. But we're gonna go over it, and I'll explain why it's so important. And here's Bitcoin right here on the right hand side, still pushing. It's at 125,200. Okay, now get your notepads out. This is important. Bitcoin pulled off many continuation patterns throughout this short-term downtrend from 124 down, in this case, to 107. Okay, all of this happened just in the month of August. And throughout this period, we had tons of little continuation patterns, right? The market is overall moving down, but we're fighting that trend a little bit on each of these little legs here, right? Big leg here, we're fighting it a little bit. We fought it here as well, but it didn't work. Now, this is really important for us to understand that this is how markets trend, okay? Markets trend like this. They move down, then you fight the trend a little bit, then you move down. Maybe you fight the trend much sharper, but you still move down. Maybe this one's not so sharp, but you're still moving down. Eventually, you kind of form the same pattern, but the market actually reverses and then starts trading upwards, and it does the same thing in the opposite direction. And that's this here is this point here in my, you know, bad drawings. Looks like Bitcoin is running out of a tiny bit of steam here on the right. No, it's not. Never mind. Ignore me. No, it's not. Oh, it kind of is. This is the problem with analyzing the 1 minute time frame. But yeah, if it does kind of stall here, this is going to be your level to watch, right? If Bitcoin gets below this level, it's not so good. At least for the super short term, you know, but like within the next hour or two, it probably still wouldn't matter. I don't know. We're gonna see. We're gonna find out together on stream. Smash up the likes as you are tuning in, ladies and gents. Let's get this thing up to 100. Really appreciate you guys bringing this up to 50. Let's push this thing up to I'm jumbling my words up to 100. I found a beautiful like band artist. It's called Tokyo Tea Room. Check them out. I've got AirPods in and I'm just vibing to it, and it's beautiful. I love it. It's good music. But yeah, this top right here is the same as this one right here, and this is important because if we look at what this means for Bitcoin, you know, at this low, it's essentially telling us that, well, shit, we already consolidated once and then dropped down. We did it twice and then dropped down. Who's to say that this isn't the same? We're on the 4-hour time frame, by the way. We're not on, you know, a super tiny time frame where it's just day traders. 4 hours is a pretty reasonable, respectable time frame for crypto. Is this my first cycle? What gave off the impression? Digital nomad. What gave off the impression this is my first cycle? And so we're forming these continuation patterns, and it's a strong indication that we're dropping down. Now, look, on this occasion here, it didn't work out, but whatever. We hit a macro support zone. It makes sense. Once you bounce off that macro support zone and you get rejected off a macro resistance zone, and then you're coming back down inside of a downtrend that you started from an all-time high, it's not a good look, bruv, when you get down to these price levels. Jim says Nomad has no idea. And it's not looking good. If you find yourself in a situation where you've literally started a downtrend from the all-time high, you bounced off macro support, fell down from macro resistance, and now you're consolidating at the same support that you've already tested. That's not going to give you much reassurance. Now, okay, it is still a macro support level, right? It's not even a great macro level. There is Bitcoin right there. Let's see if it sweeps this level right here. If it does sweep this level, it's probably in for a bit of a bigger drop. We'll see how this goes. But, I think this is an important point back to the left-hand side of the screen. Just this whole idea that when Bitcoin is consolidating at a certain level, we're expecting it to break that level. And that's exactly what happened on the upside. Okay, so that's why I'm making this point, is that this works in both directions. Obviously, on this occasion, we didn't end up continuing down, which is fantastic. And this is where my point of, it's such an exceptionally strong rally comes in. Because what I said earlier, before I went on this massive tangent for those of you just tuning in, is Bitcoin managed to pull off most of this rally within 4 to 5 days. All right? And that's a pretty respectable rally. It's a 13-14% rally within a very short space of time. Now, the last time Bitcoin did this from its low to its high, it was a 10-day move, and it didn't even go up by this much. Do you understand what I'm saying? Even this rally right here, from its low to its high, wasn't even a 10% rally, and it still took 2.5 weeks. This is important. These details are important because it's telling us a very, very clear story. That this time that Bitcoin attacked this resistance level, it was carrying strength behind it that it didn't have before. More importantly, after it got here, with all of that strength, what did Bitcoin do next? It consolidated. That's it. Bitcoin just consolidated at the top, telling us that the bears don't have power this time. And what did you have on YouTube, ladies and gents? You had Four Flies, your boy, the guy you can depend on. Not financially, because I'm an idiot. Don't depend on me financially. Flashing my disclaimer on screen. But you had your boy. So make sure you are hitting up those likes, subscribing to this YouTube channel. Because we put that out just 12 hours ago. We saw all these signs. And here we are with the breakout. And the breakout so far, not crazy. If we take a look at it on the hourly, it kind of just, you could say it kind of kicked off from about here, 122.6. That makes sense. And from there, we haven't done a whole lot, have we? I mean, yeah, I know it hasn't been too crazy. I guess you could say that the breakout really started from here, but it was one move. It happened pretty quickly. And yeah, that's a 2.5%, $3,000 price move there. So it's not the craziest thing in the world, but it's still, a good start. And we're watching it develop here. If we're able to rise above some of these highs here, and thing is, it's getting easier, right? Like back when the price fell down to this level here, all we had to do was get above this high, right? But then we dropped down lower, and now we have to beat this high. Then we drop down lower than that, now we have to beat this high. And now it's this high. If we get rejected from here, it'll be this high. And the point of me saying all of this is when you start breaking your local highs, you're proving to yourself that you're in an uptrend. You're no longer setting lower lows. It's basic stuff, ladies and gents. I don't claim to be a wizard. I know it looks like it. It's not because I'm a wizard. It's because I just know the fundamentals really well. Just like you should. Critical. It's of critical importance. Just like you should. And if this is the kind of thing that you're interested in learning, if you want to be able to apply this to, you know, your trading as well, not just your analysis, if you want to be able to, you know, consistently be able to put that best foot forward, there are systems to this. You've got to learn those systems. You got to make your own systems. You know, this is something that you're going to have to sit down with ChatGPT and sort out a system, more or less, and then stick to it and hold yourself accountable. We've done incredible work on this, just like consistently avoiding losses that should be avoided and consistently booking profits that should be booked. We've done a lot of work on this with this program here. There's no guaranteed results. Someone's going to fuck this up, but nobody has so far. Everybody's paid off their fee within the first couple of weeks of joining. So check this out if you are interested. It is expensive, but it's very serious. And if that sounds like you, then definitely, you know, reach out using this link here. Remember, the team will get back to you. Let's bring it back to the chart, though. Bitcoin's just hanging out. It's just chilling. Bitcoin's just kind of hanging out over here. It looks like it's recoiling from this move here, but it's weak. You know, I could see this, you know, like, I mean, we're not really sweeping this low. We punched this low in, like, you know, a good few minutes ago now, as silly as it sounds. Yeah, like 15 minutes ago, we haven't broken the low. So it's not like it's out of time. It could definitely still do it, but even if it does, you know, it's just looking like a slow kind of reaction rather than any level of kind of real dangerous sellers, which I think is very reassuring. What's up, ladies and gents? Smash up those likes as you are coming in. We are very close to that 100. Thank you all very, very much. Let's see what we got in the live chat. Let's see who's in the live chat today. We got Austin, Texas. What's going on, Austin? It's noon in Asia now. I'm selling. Fair enough, dude. Fair enough. I respect it. I'm always going to respect somebody selling at a high instead of selling at a low. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's important. I think that's important. We got South Africa, Bangalore, Idaho. 1776 Redbeard says his VPN says he's Australian. His username says he's Southern. Tokyo. So the band or duo or whatever they are, it's called Tokyo Tea Room, like sipping tea. Tokyo Tea Room. We just made a new high, bro. We just need to separate higher high there. Yeah, I agree. I agree. We need it to be a much better higher high. And that's what we're kind of looking to see here. That's what we're, you know, like, is it going to pull it off? I don't know, guys. But what I do know is Bitcoin started pumping when you guys smashed up those likes. And we are 5 away, you legends. Why do the two charts look different? So on the left-hand side, we've got the hourly Bitcoin chart. And on the right-hand side, we've got the 1 minute Bitcoin chart. So you're looking at the same asset, but I get to explain stuff over here, and you get to be a degen over here. That's how this works. By the way, I think this is a terrible idea. I literally just do this for entertainment. Like, this is not how you want to live. And this is not how you want to analyze, typically, for most people. Thank you for smashing those 100, you legends. You absolute legends. This is how I like to, you know, stream, but I would never look at the charts like this. You know, like if I genuinely just wanted to trade, this is bad for your mental health. This is bad for your wallet. For most people. Some people can handle it. Good for you. If you're one of those people, you probably already know. Or maybe you don't. I don't know. I've met a lot of traders, and some of them are very surprising. I can definitely say that. Do I look at the liquidation chart? Then you would see it was a cash grab at 126 and we're going to 124, then 122. Well, Marius, I don't look at liquidation charts, at least not to the detail that you're describing. And I don't look at them very often anyway because they're quite predictable. You know, like you can kind of just guess where the liquidation levels will be. It's quite easy. But you're giving very, you know, specific judgments there, which I don't, you know, I've always said I don't like those personally. You know, I mean, you could be right. It would be very impressive if you're right because you're stacking if statements on top of each other. If this happens, and if this happens, and if this happens, then this happens. You know, that's kind of what you're doing there. And, I mean, you know, like you are saying things that make sense for the trend. You know, Bitcoin does typically set marginally higher all-time highs and then drop back down. That's very normal. But I don't know. I think the S&P is paving the way for. I don't like. It's not even a bit. It's never been a Bitcoin question. I've been clear about that. Not for a long time. It hasn't been a Bitcoin question for a long time. You know, it's the S&P 500, and yes, granted, it's a weekend. You know, it's Sunday, right? So I mean, you know, like we're well into the weekend. There's no S&P 500, you know, trading going on, and yeah, I think it makes sense. Bitcoin's just kind of catching up. I guess it could be concerning that there's a CME gap we're going to be leaving here. But did you guys hear that CME gaps aren't going to be a thing anymore? That's kind of getting phased out. They're apparently doing like 24/7 trading now or something. Or they're going to start. So that's actually kind of relieving. Because first of all, you know, like 9 to 5 or whatever it was does not make sense for crypto. It's just silly. It's just silly, but of course they're silly. and now that, you know, I guess more and more people are just getting used to crypto, they're normalizing it, which is good. But it also means we're finally going to stop hearing about people talking about new CME gaps. The old ones will always be there. They'll turn into legendary old folks' tales. What is my price target for today? I don't really have a price target, bro, but let's go into it. So anyway, the point I was making on the S&P is it's in a good position. I think that's why Bitcoin's going up. But let's talk about kind of, you know, price targets, which I don't have. I don't have price targets. I want to be clear. I don't do price targets like that. You know, I don't think that that's productive. The market's not really going to give you the levels that you expect. It's like, it's more of a kind of mental, you know, like enjoyment game. I don't think it's particularly useful at all, other than defining, you know, kind of take profit levels. That is essential, but that's not the same thing as price targets. If anything, having a discussion about price targets will make you worse at taking profits. In my experience with people, that's usually how it goes. Just want to draw your guys' attention back to Bitcoin real quick here for a second, because it is sitting a tiny bit higher, still trying to push higher. And like I said, I mean, it's already swept one of those highs. If it's able to get above these local highs, which it's, you know, it's in good posture to do the next one right now, it is looking good. It is looking like it might have to take that nice big blast off there. So let's see how that goes. Let me know how you're feeling in the live chat. Solana is criminally undervalued. What's going on with Bitcoin dominance right now? Okay, it's shooting up. But Solana against Bitcoin is also going up. XRP BTC has dropped below the support. Interesting. Because this is a really good level, you know, for investors to consider XRP at. And I've been saying that for a few months. So, you know, it's just nice how the market always gives us these chances until it doesn't. Until it fucking doesn't, you know? But the market does give us these chances. And most of the time we don't take them because we're sitting on our hands. Don't be one of them. And if you do want to take them, Caleb and Brown, ladies and gents. Those of you in the West, we got a few Aussies watching. Dude, if you guys are in Australia, especially, these guys are based in Australia. I've spoken to their whole team. They're great guys. Check out Caleb and Brown. You can buy and sell over the counter. So this is not like your standard impersonal one of, you know, with one fucking user ID on Binance. You know, you're just one guy in a system. This is like you're going to have a guy. You're going to be able to talk to them. You're going to get great service, quick service. And they will settle funds in your bank accounts around the world. So you can literally send them crypto and they will send you dollars or euros or whatever the hell you want. Super, super cool. Check them out with that link in the description below. Especially if you're looking for, you know, those kind of longer term things. But even normal trading, they do it. They do it all. And it's like I'm saying, you know, like these coins are approaching really interesting levels. You know, which I find really, you know, exciting, to be honest, because I want to buy some too. You know, like I think that these coins are looking great and I want to increase exposure. So it's just one of those things where, yeah, I mean, if you bring a certain level of patience with you into the market, you are going to get paid for it. Smash up the likes, ladies and gents. Let's see where we can take this. It's a good live stream. We've got good price action. We're covering some really, really important points. Smash them up. So that's Caleb and Brown. Check them out if you are interested. We've got great exchanges linked here as well. We've got Bybit and Blowfin. Both phenomenal exchanges. Bybit, of course, best in the game. Can't beat them. Maybe one day somebody will, but, you know, they're looking really strong. And of course, Blowfin, a phenomenal alternative. Very, very healthy alternative. Both worth checking out, only if you're not from a restricted region. And keep in mind, I'm saying that they're great choices. They can get hacked. You can lose your money on them. You know, some crazy shit can happen. This is crypto. So be sensible. Don't put your life savings on an exchange or something stupid. I squeezed my eyes and I saw an ascending pattern for XRP. I mean, yeah, I've seen it too. You kind of have to ignore, like, this whole section here. This, like, weird phase. I don't know. I don't think it matters. The point is that it's in bullish structure. Right? Like, we can sit around and be like, which shape is it? Don't know. Doesn't matter. What matters is that, you know, this is definitely a bullish structure. XRP has managed to rise up by, you know, a 4.4 times gain in 2.5 weeks. That happened right after Trump got elected. And for the third time, mind you, after Trump got elected for the third time, there was a 4.4 times gain for XRP. And, you know, since then, we've seen just more or less sideways price action. So, you know, you can't really spin a bearish angle on this. I mean, you know, obviously someone's going to find a way to do it. And, you know, don't get me wrong, I don't like XRP at all. I hate it, actually. But, you know, I mean, that's not going to stop me from giving you the best analysis you'll ever find on it. So that's what we're doing. And I think that's really important because even though I don't like it and I don't like the team and I don't like what it stands for and I don't like legacy banking and all of that super, super terrible stuff, I do like the profits, right? I do like making money off these markets. And, you know, it's a good one. I think I'd probably enjoy shorting XRP more, but, you know, that time will come. We're not there yet. We're not there. When that time comes, trust me, I will, you know, best believe I'll be involved. But yeah, I mean, not in any real capacity other than just going short, but I'll be involved in that. You know, but for now, yeah, it's a long and it's approaching, you know, really nice levels. So that's interesting. Let's look at some others. Let's look at Ethereum against Bitcoin. Ethereum's just hanging out. Doesn't really know what's going on. Doesn't really care. Ethereum's chilling. Solana's chilling. Solana's big chilling, fam. Like, Solana's just finished a little downtrend, and he's like, yeah, I'm not doing this. Solana's just going up. And this is what I'm saying. We're getting so much underlying strength here out of these coins. Like, some of them. Solana specifically. You know, XRP is shit in the bed. Ethereum is moving down a little bit. Solana? Solana's like, all right, I'm just doing my thing. And Solana's marching on higher. That is great. Like, if you want a sign that something might do well when the sun is shining, look at how it's performing when it's cloudy and rainy. All right? You can apply this to anything. We do apply this to things. Everyone's always like, you know, you pick the girl that whatever, like stands by you at your weakest point, right? Something like that. You know, that you only realize who your friends are when you're at your lowest point. Stuff like that. Okay, well, if they're like that at your lows, what are they going to be like at your highs? And Solana is continuing to prove that. Because when things are looking good, it's exploding. When things are looking bad, it's still somehow moving up. So good on Solana. I like that. Could I be wrong about all this? Yes, obviously. But I like what I see. I like what I see. What can I say? What can I say? I'm you know, I'm just going about this with you guys, innit? I don't have access to different information. Believe it or not, I don't. And I like it. I like it this way. So let's see what we got in the live chat. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the live chat, ladies and gents. Tell me how we feel. Smash up those likes if you're just tuning in. If you're new to the channel, what can I say? Like I said, just the best analysis you're going to find on YouTube. It's grounded. It's realistic. It's what you need to hear. It's not more. It's not less. Smash them up and double check that you're subscribed if you are new. God has been giving me abundance. I've been doing really well on ETH. Dude, that is amazing. I love that. We're pinning that comment right there. Because that is sick and that should be celebrated. Let's see what we got in the live chat here. If the stimulus check happens, this will boost crypto higher. Are we expecting another stimulus check? I haven't heard anything about this. What about MicroStrategy? I don't really. Fucking okay. We'll look at MicroStrategy. I was gonna say I don't really have like an interest in it, but it's worth looking at. It's fine. I mean, it looks really good, dude. Who asked that about MicroStrategy? Bronco. It looks really good. There's definitely, you know, something cooking on this chart. I don't know. Maybe not. But it's just good structure. It's the same thing as XRP. Well, what can you say about MicroStrategy, you know? Like, it's just going to do what Bitcoin does, more or less. It's going to do it differently because it's secondary market speculation. But, you know, I don't think that makes it nice. I think that makes it more dangerous. Maybe I'm missing an edge here. Maybe I'm not really paying attention. Maybe I'll watch it more and I'll see. Because, yeah, I mean, I know smart people are trading it. So... But I don't... if anything, it almost looks like a more real representation of where Bitcoin is in my head. Does anyone else feel that way? Anyone else feel like psychologically, like Bitcoin is actually here, not literally at an all-time high right now? Anyone else feel that? Let me know in the live chat. Let's see what else we got here. Holy shit, Jose Antonio got a 15x on XRP. Well, dude, I'll tell you what. I know that you're expecting it to go higher, but consider taking some profits. Consider taking some profits, man. Doing the right thing. Just consider it. I'm sure you already have a little bit. You got to work out if your ratios of what you hold right now versus what you've gained are good enough. Don't get too greedy, brother. You will keep making more money. I promise you're going to keep on making more money. But if there's something you should secure right now, secure it. Secure it. If there's something you should secure, then secure it. This is really important for anybody else watching as well. Maybe it's your friends. Maybe you see it with your friend. If you see someone that's made a fucking bag and they're just, you know, running for more, have a chat with them. Just as a man, you know, man to man or woman to woman or whatever the hell it is. Just, you know, hey, you know, congrats, mate. Take some fucking money out. Enjoy yourself. Secure something. Take care of somebody. Get somebody a gift. Maybe you don't even want anything. Fuck it. Take care of your nephew. You know, like, go do something. Be alive a little bit. You know, I'm not saying pull out 80% of your profits or even 20. I don't know what your numbers are. I have my numbers. We should have an idea of what makes sense to kind of, you know, secure from the market. And if we don't do that, the market will take the money from us. It will happen. It will happen. So be sensible. In my opinion, it demonstrates expressing gratitude, gratefulness, thankfulness for the money. You know, if you respect it enough to take some out of, you know, the market instead of gamble, essentially, which is what it turns into for a lot of people when the money becomes significant. Hans Kim, sir, 4 flies. I'm ETH 5x short at 43.50, liquidation 51.97. Can I get some advice? Why the fuck are you short in the top, dude? I mean, like, not the top, but I guess you thought it was the top. Okay, fair enough. But, like, why are you, like, what I meant to say is, like, why are you shorting an uptrend? Basically. That's what I meant to say. I don't know, like, advice, I certainly won't give you advice. I don't do that. And I don't want to. But, you know, I mean, what can I say to something like this? Like, this is a bad place to go short. I've had tons of people ask me questions like this. You know, they're like, shit, I'm in a bad position. What do I do? I'm in a position and I'm underwater. What do I do? You know, I've gotten this. It is an age-old question. I've been there myself a million times. You know, asking myself and asking other people the exact same question. Because I made a, you know, silly, like, financial decision that I shouldn't have made. You know, like in my trading. And I mean, you know, what does this person want to hear? They want to hear, don't worry, it's going to go back down to break even. You'll have a chance to close at break even. Or maybe they want to hear, and by the way, take a look at Bitcoin right here on the right-hand side. It is seeing a little bit of a drop right now. So let's see where this ends up going. I'll keep you guys updated on that and minimize the face cam whenever I need to. But you know, they want to hear that it's going back down to break even. Smash up those likes, ladies and gents, as you are tuning in. Let's see if we can get this up to 150. Or they want to hear, hey, no, you're fucked. Like, this thing is definitely going up. It's going to hit your liquidation, so you may as well close now. Or you may as well wait 20 minutes, see if you can close at a 5% loss instead of a 20% loss. Do you know what I mean? Like, these are the things that these people want to hear. People who are in an underwater position that, you know, like, they're panicking and the market is clearly moving against them. It might not stay that way, but do they want to stay in the market to find out? What do you say to that person? Well, I'll tell you what, because I've been there so many times. This is so important. This is so important. When you're in this position, ladies and gents, you're doing something very bad. And you're doing something that really needs to be, like, spoken about. You are essentially trying to protect a temporary loss from happening without being okay to acknowledge what got you here. This is not the conversation you want to have when you're in the middle of an underwater position. There's that recovery coming in for Bitcoin right now. Barely anything. Nothing's really developing here, but just keeping you guys updated. They're really interested in safeguarding that little bit of money, that, or maybe it's a lot of money because they overinvested into the market, but they're really invested in kind of safeguarding that, and they do it at the expense of their future. Because what if you do get the perfect silver bullet answer that says, hey, yeah, no, actually, you should wait half an hour. It's going to go back up to break even or back down to break even, and then you can close. And you won't close because you're a fucking degenerate gambler. So when it goes back down to break even, you're going to be like, hey, hang on a minute. Maybe, I can see some profits now. I mean, I waited this long. I stood by this much pain. Let me get paid for it. They're not going to move their stop loss or even set a stop loss if they don't already have one. They're not going to do any of that sensible stuff. So this is my point, is, you know, you're in an underwater position. You went short. I don't know what thesis would lead someone to go short. I mean, I know people are doing it, clearly. The market is functioning. The market is healthy. People are going short. But why? For what? Is it just to make a quick buck? Well, then you don't know what you're doing. You don't know the tide that you're trading against. Forget this trade, dude. You could close it now. It's probably the best option for a lot of people. Just as soon as you realize you fucked it up, close it. Don't do it again, more importantly. That's really important. It totally depends. Maybe you went fucking, balls to the wall. You went fucking all in on this trade. I mean, my man's talking about a liquidation level. I don't see you telling me what your stop loss is. So maybe you don't even have a stop loss. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, stop fucking trading is the first thing I would do if I were you. And I would learn some basics. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. I'm completely serious. Because you're just going to give your money away, dude. Like, you're not ready to trade. Like... And by the way, this is an attitude I've seen with very rich traders too, but they're fucking, like, fake. Like, they don't actually rely on what they make as a trader at all. Those kinds of people. So they'll just do whatever the fuck they want. But, like, for someone that actually wants to make money off this, that attitude is not going to work. I'm making an assumption. I don't know if you're actually... without a stop loss or not, but, the way you wrote your message, it sounds like you don't have a stop loss. So, what are you doing, dude? You need a stop loss. And again, like, as for long in the top, it's, again, I just think that, a better understanding of market structure and, just a better understand. And let me break this down, let me explain what this means. It's literally just looking at the trend, right? And having an understanding that, okay, like, the trend is up. Okay, the trend is up, and, like, where did you go short from, presumably? Well, let's look at the Ethereum chart. I don't even know where your position would have started from, but, let's just say that his position started, like, here. I don't know. I'm probably not even highlighting the right level. I'm too far away to read the small numbers now. But, this is reasonable. Let's say it was even from here. In all of these cases, it's just, like, I get it. Like, dude thinks he's going short at the top, literally. He thinks he's just, like, calling the end to the bull market, or at least scraping a 20-30%. But... like, that's not... It's a big steaming train that you're kind of standing up against, That's the problem with trades like that. Like, if they're right, my God, you're so right. You are Michael Burry, and everybody wants to be around you and say that they're your friend. Like, you're that guy. But if you're just... just trading and not really knowing what you're doing, then... yeah, like, you're gonna run into walls pretty quick. So I don't know what the you're expecting a small correction. I mean, yeah, a small correction makes sense, but you're looking at the correction right now. Like, do you think Bitcoin's dropping down to 124? If you do, then Ethereum's probably gonna follow, and that would help you find break even. But what if it doesn't? I don't know. Like, I don't really want to play that game. That's my point. I used to be there a lot, when I was a terrible trader. I used to be there a lot, and it's not a good, like, my point is that, like, you could lose all of the money you put into that trade, or you could lose none of it, and it wouldn't matter, because you're going to be in the same position again in a month, or in a week, or in 6 months. Like, you need to overhaul how you view the market. If you ever find yourself in a position like this, where you're like, shit, I'm in a bad position, what do I do? What do you mean, what do I do? What does your fucking plan say? Like, do you actually think you're that fucking hot? That you're actually that fucking good? That you can enter this game, trading, without a plan? You actually think you're that fucking good? Do you know what I'm saying? Like... it's just an attitude that isn't going to survive in the market. I think that's really important. And it's not about you, dude. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about me. a lot. And I'm talking about other viewers who this might apply to. You want to help yourself, not hurt yourself. Hey man, I've been watching you for a while. I have a question. Do you DCA a certain amount regularly, or do you swing trade exclusively? I don't really DCA much these days, do I? So I guess, yeah, more swing. I can't, dude. My default is, you know, crypto and property. Such a nice balance. I am going to get more involved in stuff like stocks, though. I'm very excited for that. And this channel is going to see a lot of that content. If you want to see stocks content, stonks, if you want to see content about, you know, Apple, Nvidia, Tesla. I love Tesla. I'm a big Tesla fanboy. I don't own any Tesla stock, but I will. I'm going to buy a lot of Tesla stock. I'm so late to it. I'm so embarrassed. But I did see something interesting, and I might make a video on it. Let me note this down so I don't forget. I did see something very interesting. Yeah, just I like to leave myself, you know, something to work with. So here's Bitcoin though, zooming in a little bit. Not looking great. It's not looking great. But that doesn't matter. The chart looked like this when we were streaming last as well. It's very normal. Be pessimistic before you enter a trade and optimistic when in the trade. Sure, that sounds reasonable, but I don't even like that. I mean, that might work for you. Good for you, man. That's probably going to work for a lot of people, but I don't want optimism or pessimism. I want nothing. I want a system that tells me do this or don't do this. And then I want honesty with myself when I tell myself why it went well or why it didn't go well. That's it. I don't even, like, if I'm feeling any sort of hope, optimism, pessimism, whatever, I would usually exit the trade. No, I'm feeling something. All right, I'm out. I'm not doing this. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in trading when I feel like I'm not completely chill. Which is hard. It's very hard to do sometimes. But it's a mix of, you know, don't trade with too much money and trade good setups. That mix really helps. There we go. So it's still pushing down. Let's see where this thing goes for Bitcoin here. We're so close to 150 likes, you absolute legends. Smash them up if you haven't done so already. Even if you do it short on top and you don't have a confirmation to go short, it's just gamble. Yeah, dude. A lot of shorts and uptrends are gambles, I think. They're glory runs. People want glory. They don't want money. They want glory. If they wanted money, they would behave very differently. They would be smart. I learned this the hard way. I'm talking about a lot of people. It is what it is. It is what it is. I wish I wasn't, but I am. I'm talking to myself of the past, like I said. Probably most of all. Because I had big issues with this stuff. What's up, Vegas? Elon is planning the world's fastest AI computer building around Memphis, Tennessee. Better long-term investment coming. Is that part of Tesla or is that going to be XAI or something? Any thoughts on 𝐁𝐥𝐵? I haven't seen 𝐁𝐥𝐵 chart in a while. I don't really want to look at it, to be honest. Unless there's a reason to. Let me know if there's a reason to. What would you say was the turning point where you stopped feeling anything when in a trade? You know, for me, a lot of my improvement points, Bitcoin is slipping right now. Look at Bitcoin right there on the right-hand side of the screen. That's the 1 minute chart for Bitcoin. And it is on the edge, dude. We'll keep an eye on that. When I stopped feeling stuff in a trade, so I don't know exactly when it was. I can probably remember it if I try, but you know, the key thing is it happened. It always happened out of frustration for me. You know, like a lot of the things I kind of knew what I had to do, and then I just didn't really do them until I got sick of like losing my money, you know, for the same stupid fucking reasons. I swear, that's like honestly a really big part of how it went for me. I wish it was like a less abusive learning journey, you know, like with myself. I wish that I, you know, like was easier on myself by just doing what I was supposed to do instead of being a fucking degen, instead of being a gambler. I wish I just did it properly. Because I'd be, you know, like, you'd be so much further ahead, right? Like with good habits that you compound. But no, I was stubborn. I started out when I was 15. I'm 24 now. I started out when I was 15 as a trader, and I wanted to do everything like an idiot. And I wasn't willing to learn my lessons. So every time something good happened to me in my trading journey, it was literally a breaking point. It was literally like, oh my God, I'm done. But I'll just try one more time and I'll change this. I swear, that's how it was. Such degenerate behavior. But the you know, the joke is that I came back so many times that I finally made it work. And I'm very proud of that story. Because it proves what we already know, which is that if you obsess over anything, you'll always kind of be successful. What's up, ladies and gents? Welcome to the live stream. Smash them up as you are coming in. You're getting realistic ground analysis right here on this channel. Let me know where you're watching from in the live chat. Let me know how you're feeling about the market. Where do you think we're going? I know I got that question. I didn't actually answer it. 125 is a round number, so that makes sense. 127.5 is the next round number, but really the next key level is 130. Maybe front running that puts us at 129, 128. Those are the next two levels I can see, 129, 128. That would be nice. And we might get that during this live stream. We'll see. We'll see. Bitcoin's being real slow right now. But we'll see. We might actually be able to pull that off in this live stream. Smash up the likes for that. If you want to see something interesting happening on this live, smash them up. It might happen. I don't know. So what motivates you now? Dude, I'm ambitious. I'm an ambitious guy. I got a lot of things that motivate me. I think you could probably pick any reason, and it's probably there for me. Making a black coffee, looking at the 1 minute chart. Life is good, man. There you go. BBL doctor in the house. What's up? Where is price discovery? We're in price discovery, bro. We broke out. The all-time high was 124,500, and we broke out. So we are in price discovery right now. This is what price discovery looks like. Not very exciting. It is what it is. Bakersfield, CA, ladies and germs, did you say? I've been to Bakersfield like once or twice. Always passing through. Nobody ever stops in Bakersfield, do they? I liked it. They've got like a culture of Indian food. I didn't go to any of the restaurants, but I was like, this is interesting. The whole truckers thing? What is that? I love Indian food, so when your channel views reach 2021 bull run levels, I'm hoping I'm fully out of the market and on the next jet to St. Bartholomew. St. Barth's. Hell yeah, dude. Do it. I like your goals. My girlfriend motivates me to drink a beer at 2 a.m. at night. Is that a good thing or a bad thing, dude? I don't know. Little bounce on Bitcoin here, nothing too crazy. Still got a long way to go to get up to that all-time high again. I mean, that's about, it's 0.5%. It's not that crazy at all. It's just stalling, you know, like it's just, you know, it sets off and then it's consolidating. And the question's really like, well, how long is it going to consolidate for? And that is anybody's guess. You know, like there's no way to really say. But one of the things we do know is if it recently became much more volatile, then it's usually going to stay volatile for a little bit of time. But even that is very slow for Bitcoin these days, which is a shame. Glenn CT, what is that, Central Time? Is that Texas? 2 a.m. woke up to an alert, all-time high, LFG. Let's fucking go. I love that. Good stuff, dude. Good stuff. But do you really want to be woken up just for an all-time high? I don't know. I don't want to, you know, that's you. You do what you want. I've done that. I understand. Can we look at total 3? Yeah, let's take a look at total 3. Put Bitcoin on the side here on the minute time frame so we can keep an eye on that. Total 3. We should always be looking at ES though, shouldn't we? Because we don't want to see stable coins. That's really not useful. And this looks so good. Wow. What's up, Adam? Welcome to the live stream. Oh, Connecticut. Connecticut. I don't know. I'm sorry. I probably butchered that. This is cool. This is a great chart. Adam's like button isn't working. I tell you what, dude, it's the thought that counts. So thank you, you legend. Thank you. Yeah, no, this is a brilliant chart. This is a very healthy chart. This is Bitcoin pre-breakout. So this is great. Very, very happy to be seeing this. Let's look at this on the daily. Yeah, this is great. This is great. This is where Bitcoin was like 12 hours ago. Yeah, 12 hours, like whatever, like 1 day ago, Bitcoin was here. All right, let's look at total 2. Same thing. Fantastic. Yeah, total 3 is about to go crazy or get rejected. But Bitcoin's already shown us which way we're going. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've already gotten the sign of where this is potentially. I mean, it could still be wrong. You know, it could just like all fall flat. But, you know, like it's evidence, right? Like, where's the evidence that that's going to happen as far as like, you know, being a trader or being an analyst? Like, what could you possibly lean on to tell you that, you know, it's not gonna continue going up? I don't know. Like, I want to know if anyone has, you know, a compelling reason or a compelling point or a compelling chart, whatever it is. I want to know. I want to hear about it. -32°C, 1 p.m. in sunny Thailand. Life is good. That is very, very cool, dude. Thailand's an interesting place. I haven't been there yet. I'm interested to go. I want to see the islands. I like islands. Islands are cool. I'm wondering if they'll be better than the Greek ones. They probably are better than the Greek ones, aren't they? Because the Greek ones are Greek. Yeah, I said what I said. Shit. I'll just piss anybody off on these live streams, won't I? Go to the remote islands there. Yeah, you wanna go to the. I don't know. I'm just thinking, like, you know, just the vibes of. I don't know, like always being on a sunrise island, sunset island, like you're watching that stuff, and probably it just seems so modern. Like they seem like they're doing so well with the times. We got NFT art, brewery living in Thailand too. It just feels like, you know, like they've got so much right as far as, you know, being on the trends. Obviously there's value for money, there's all that good stuff. Haven't been to Thailand, but been through Bakersfield. Yeah, and it's young, right? Like Thailand's kind of young. No? That sounds cool too. What a Sunday morning, waking up to a Four Flies live. Hell yeah, dude. Good morning. What's up, Ireland? Welcome to the live stream. Bitcoin's just hanging out. I swear this happens every live stream I do, fam. I'll come on live right when the move ended. And it's like, all right, we get to break it down. That's nice, but I don't know how much longer we'll be live for this, to be honest. Let me see if something interesting opens up here. Otherwise, we'll probably call it here. I mean, you guys have seen it. We're here every time something interesting happens. So just make sure that you are subscribed. Make sure you are showing YouTube you fuck with this content. You're hitting those likes up, all that good stuff. As long as you do that, YouTube's going to, you know, keep surfacing it for you. Sort of. Notifications helps. Being in the Telegram channel helps even more. And on that note, ladies and gents, if you're looking for, you know, honestly, like a transformation in your journey, it might not happen, but, you know, it's happened for everyone that's taken the program so far. Then reach out and just ask for information about it. We've only got one program on offer right now, and it's this one. We get a lot of questions about, you know, what's on offer. It's just this. Nothing else right now. Got a couple other things cooking, but they're very different. This is the best. Like this program has seen the best results we've ever generated, which is impressive because we've seen some pretty cool results. And that's going to be with this link right here. So you can just reach out, ask for some information. Remember, the team will get back to you. Obviously, great exchanges linked in the description as well. So check them out. You get huge bonuses when you start trading. Literally, that means just sign up, start trading, get money in your account. That's how it works. They send you more money in your account to trade with. That's Bybit. There's Blowfin down here as well. Phenomenal choice. Both great. Check them both out if you're not from a restricted region. But the charts, not saying too much. Everyone and their grandmothers are calling for a Q4 top. Yeah, why is that? Do we know why that is? Take it easy, man. Thank you very much, Mitch. Everyone smash the likes. You legend, dude. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome, chef. Much appreciated. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm probably hanging out for a couple more minutes. I want to see if Bitcoin does anything. I got time. What if you're a complete novice, Sammy? Is the course suitable for those types? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So it's not a course. It's a one-to-one program. That one I described. It's a one-to-one program on the phone. And if you need the course, which honestly I recommend most people get the course anyway, we'll just give you that for free. We used to sell that for like $2,500. We'll just give it to you for free. We'll give it to you anyway, but you know, I will specifically ask you to watch it as well if you're new. And it's the best, you know, you want to be new and then learn it, you know, from me. Like that's what you want. Because if you've had like 3 years or 1 year or 6 months of making stupid decisions, now I have to like work on unlearning stuff, which is going to happen, you know, but it takes time. Some people are stubborn. Some people are slow. Some people need to lose more money before they start paying attention to the real lessons in front of them. That's my point. That's not a good place to be. So if you're new, you get to avoid a lot of that. And I think that's worth a lot. Because it's time in the market, right? This is the point I keep on making. If you're being stupid, if you're messing up things you shouldn't be messing up, you are also taking away future gains from yourself. That is a disaster. That's very, very bad. Bitcoin's price action, by the way, is not getting reassuring. It's not getting better. It's continuing to look like it's going to break down. And if it does, like I said, 124K is going to be the next logical level to see Bitcoin drop down to. That's right here. That looks like about here. That's going to be the next level to kind of see Bitcoin find support. It could find support somewhere else in between, but, you know, this is where the chart says it would. Not that it matters at all, but, you know, still something that I want to point out. Because, you know, it's such a short-term time frame that, you know, like, analyzing this kind of stuff is not really the most useful thing ever. But, again, if we're just doing it for entertainment, it's fine. Looking forward to your stock analysis? Yeah, dude, me too. Or Nicole, my bad. Yeah, but yeah, I'm very, very much looking forward to that as well. Fluffy and fuzzy. I'm stubborn and slow and on my third beer. Gotta get back to bed. You do what you need to do, mate. You do what you need to do. I don't know. What's wrong with it, man? Having a couple beers and just, you know, tuning into some Four Flies crypto analysis. Sounds like a good night to me. I don't know. If you're just taking it easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would too, man. If alcohol wasn't so unhealthy, dude, I would love it. So a possible explanation for why people think we're going to top this year in Q4, which we're in Q4 now, is because the bull run is running for 2 years already, and we normally top out in December. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Well, I really don't think that's going to happen this time. I don't know. I could be wrong. But I've not been wrong about anything throughout this market cycle on a macro scale. Micro, yeah, of course, I've stumbled. But macro, just go back and watch the videos. We've never been wrong about macro analysis during this bull market cycle. And it's about damn time. All right? I've been doing this for 8.5 years. It's about time I can start, you know, consistently. You know what I'm saying? We've been very good for a long time, but this is by far the most accurate macro analysis we've ever done. This is by far. And I think that's, you know, a function of, I think honestly a big part that helps is like I'm not obsessed with the market, you know? If I was more obsessed with the market, I would not be able to protect myself from bad analysis. But because I'm not obsessed with it, I'm not like, you know, because there are people, and this isn't even like a wealth thing. This is just literally like almost like a boredom thing. Like, is life keeping you entertained? Because if it's not, crypto will. And if it's crypto, that's dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Because that's like almost a casino at that point now. So, you know, make sure your life keeps you entertained. Make your life fulfilling. Do crypto on the side. Crypto is a thing that happens on the side. Trading, investing. You can't do that full time. Not unless you're a day trader. And who the hell's a day trader these days? Yeah, this Tokyo tea room, by the way, they are great. That music thing I was talking about. They just make the coolest music, man. Bear with, guys. I gotta check something on my phone here. That's why I'm being not super useful right now on this live stream. What y'all think will be hitting resistance this time around, short term and in the next few weeks? This is the thing is that we don't have resistance. We haven't printed resistance yet. You know, like we're in blue sky breakout territory right now. And Bitcoin's just kind of figuring itself out if it wants to pump or shit the bed. It's so funny watching it be so indecisive. Love from India. What's up? Abhishek, welcome to the live stream. You think there'll be an altcoin run? You think there'll be an altcoin run this quarter? I know you aren't the biggest altcoin fan, but things seem set up. I am not a fan of altcoins, but as I was saying throughout this live stream, and I've said this before as well, a lot, I'm a big fan of making money, dude. And I definitely think that there is a great chance of a strong alt run soon. I don't know when. Today, next week, next month, next 4 months, I don't know when. But somewhere in those time frames, not that that's particularly useful, but soon. And I'm very interested in seeing where that takes us. But ladies and gents, I think I'm probably going to be wrapping this one up around now. Because Bitcoin is, I mean, it's dropping, granted, but I don't know, if it drops down to 124, that's not interesting to watch, is it? 3 likes only? I don't know. I think that's wrong. There's a lot more than 3 likes. Is mainstream media talking about Bitcoin? I don't think so, and I'm not worried about them. Bitcoin is mainstream now. So if mainstream media is talking about it, that's not concerning. That doesn't concern me at all. It doesn't really change anything. And if you want Ethereum, we kind of looked at Ethereum. It's doing well. Nothing that interesting. It's doing okay. Dude, Dubai is always good. Dubai is always a good. I mean, obviously it's summer, you know. So I mean, Dubai really gets nice. I used to say November, but I honestly think it's more of a December thing now. You know, like just based on how it's been. But yeah, I mean, you know, that like early, like phase of every year, incredible time to be there. To you know, like be there soaking everything in. That is the time you want to, you know, be in Dubai, I think. But it's always you know what it is, and I think that's really cool. I always liken it to, you know, like a winter in the UK. You know, like in the UK, and what about local people? Yeah, they're fine. You know, I mean, like all people, some are nice, some are not. Most of them are very nice. I remember when I was very new to Dubai, I bought a Ferrari like immediately because I was 19, and this is so stupid. I was out with the boys, you know, and I was like, I thought I could, you know, I saw some sand and I tried to drift it and I kicked it, you know, and I got stuck immediately. I got stuck immediately. And I was like, what the fuck? This is so... And we were so far away from the city. And then out of nowhere, fam, this white Nissan Patrol just fucking, you know, rolls over the fucking desert and just drives up to us. Dude doesn't even speak English. It was so crazy. Like, I got stuck. A minute passed, and then this dude turned up. It's like they park these Arabs somewhere, and they don't joke there. Hell yeah, they do. Have you been to Dubai? Everybody has a laugh. Everybody has a laugh. Emiratis would laugh at what I'm about to say. It's like they park Arabs just like somewhere nearby, you know, and like, oh, quick, there's somebody trapped. Yallah, let's go. They'll go and fucking save him. They're hilarious, dude. They're everywhere. And no, man, you can't say that. You need to go there. What do you mean they don't joke? They've got great, you know, like, they love having a laugh. We're talking about Arabs, fam. Arabs love to laugh. Yeah, and yeah, this dude just comes out of nowhere, and bear in mind it's a Ferrari in it, so like I don't know where the fucking tow hooks are or whatever, and I just got the car, and so he opens my boot, my trunk, and he opens like a little toolbox, and he pulls out like a wrench or like a tow hook or something, and he just screws it onto the front of my grill, and I was like, I didn't even know that this was in here. And I was like, okay, so this dude like either owns a Ferrari or knows somebody that does, or he's towed a Ferrari before, you know. And I was like, it's more likely that he's towed a Ferrari before, given that he knew exactly where the tow hook would be and how to attach it. No YouTube, no ChatGPT. You know, this was 2021 or whatever, 2020. And it was so funny, dude. It was so funny. So yeah, locals are cool. Locals are cool. You like I said, dude. Like with anybody, you know, like not everyone's gonna be nice. We're so close to 200 likes, by the way. Smash them up if you haven't done so already. But you know, if there's like a group of people you want to find out that are not so nice, it's probably not locals. You know, they're probably gonna be like other, like, I don't know. Who do I not like in Dubai as a demographic? Am I allowed to say Indian? It's not Indian. But I like going there because I'm half Indian. Should I buy Ethereum? I only have $29 in the account. This is what I mean when I say Indians. $29. I don't know, dude. Why don't you get a job? First of all. You know? Like, what is $29? Come on, man. Like, you know. Focus on what's more important. You're not getting rich off $29. Bitcoin options don't exist. I don't really know, dude. I'm pretty sure they do. I think Coinbase just did. But, I mean, I don't know about options. Yeah, but yeah, we saw a little drop on Bitcoin here and nothing. What can you say, you know? It's just kind of trying to get back above now, but it's just doing its thing. It's just consolidating, pointing downwards a little bit. There's nothing really of note going on this chart right now. Bitcoin is a tiny bit below 125k. Again. Right, guys, if we got any final questions, I'll take them now. I need 2 of you to hit up those likes, though. 2 of you who haven't done so already, probably many of you have. 2 of you haven't. Let's cement that. Thank you all so much for all the love and support on this live stream. It's been a fun one. Again, as usual. Thank you all very much. Thank you, Marius. Thank you very, very much. But yeah, no, I think that's a pretty good place to leave this. Thank you, Nicole. Appreciate it. 𝐁𝐥𝐿𝐴, buy or sell? I don't know, dude. I think the trading stuff is kind of done now, isn't it? You know, I don't think there's like an obvious trade right now. I think altcoins, like I said, are an interesting spot buy. You know, like a long-term spot buy. I think a lot of those are maybe not right now, but they're definitely approaching good places if they're not already in them. I think they're good enough to buy. It really depends. It depends on exposure, right? If you have no exposure, you're going to be a little bit more desperate to get some exposure. But, you know, if you already have exposure, then, you know, you're going to be a little bit more selective, right? Which I think is totally, you know, a reasonable kind of course there. But yeah, if we don't have any final questions, I'll probably head off. When do I plan on selling Bitcoin to buy a house next? That's a good one. I don't know. Honestly, it depends, doesn't it? Depends a lot. Thoughts on selling end of year and buying back % before halving? What? You probably meant 500 days before halving, but can you clarify? You see an opinion on Aster coin from CZ? I don't know anything about it, but let me take a look at the chart. I think I already looked at it once on another live stream. Yeah, it looks pretty good in terms of the chart. What was the question, though? An opinion on it? Not really, other than it looks good. Not much else I can say, to be honest. Do you see liquidations and liquidity to take decisions? Not really. I don't do it often. I do it a little bit when I feel like when I feel like it'll be useful, but most of the time I don't really find it useful. Do I not own a house? I do own a house, but I want to own some more. What performs better from here until end of cycle? Solana, or ETH? I think Solana is definitely on a better track because it's smaller. You can't really compare them. You know, they're totally different coins. They're so different. I mean, you know, if we go on coin market cap, Trump is literally underwater. I know, right? Trump is going to have to recover. But he is just not loved right now, is he? But Solana by market cap, 128 billion. Ethereum, 550. So it's very unlikely at those ratios that Ethereum is going to have a better percentage gain in this bull market. Especially, I think, given that Solana's already performed so well that it's proven itself to still be relevant. That might change. It wouldn't be the first time, but it's looking good to me. Do I think it could be a long-term hold? What, Aster? I don't know which one you mean, Kenshi. Aster is a DEX? Is that what you're saying? Trump is literally underwater. Yeah, let's look at Trump. And here's Bitcoin also just recovering a little bit. Let's look at Trump real quick. Yeah, it's so low. We were looking at this. Look at that. Look at that. I don't even know if I want to buy it. I think it's worth accumulating, isn't it? A tiny bit. I'm saying, like, if you got $100, you put like 10 cents in, you know, like nothing. Because that's, you know, a 10x. That's a 10x gain to get back to those highs. Aster is the same as Binance, just DEX instead of CEX. So didn't CZ have to like withdraw from Binance as part of his deal with the US like court? And so what he does is he just makes a decentralized version that's friends with Binance. Is that what he did? Fair enough. I mean, he must have known that that's legal, but I mean, that's just funny to think about. Do I like barbers? I mean, yeah, sure. I don't know. I got a great relationship with my barber in London. What about Footprint? Footprint's very useful, but I don't use Footprint. And I don't want to. I don't need to. You know, like you guys have been watching this channel. We do very well. We can see what's coming very well. But I think Footprint would allow me to time it a lot better. And, you know, by extension, trade it. But my God, that's a totally different style of trading. And I didn't, you know, nah, I'm not interested in that. I don't want to day trade. I'm really against it. I don't think it's smart for most people. It's certainly not smart for me. I just don't want to do it. But I will look at Footprint again. I just don't know. Like I open it up and I'm like, you know what? I don't know. Why did I choose Dubai? I mean, you know, same reasons as anyone else. I mean, and by the way, you guys got to keep in mind, if you're from Europe, you know, like you don't have anywhere to go other than Dubai. Even if you're from the Middle East, you know, like you don't have, if you want to leave your country because your country is shit, like the UK, like France, whatever, then you can only really go to Dubai. I mean, like, it's the only one that makes sense, right? Some weird person's going to go to fucking Marbella and they're going to lie to themselves about why it's good, and someone's going to go Turkey, and good for them. They might find a beautiful Turkish girl and everything's worth it. You know, but, like, someone's going to move to Poland, or, you know, do you know what I mean? Like, good for them. They want a different kind of life, but most people are going to end up in Dubai. It's tax-free, it's great weather, it's a good culture, it's Muslim, if that matters to some, you know, that matters to some people. It's certainly not oppressive to other religions, so you can be any religion or no religion, and, you know, you'd have a great time. You wouldn't even notice it. I mean, in many ways, it feels like a completely Western city, but with great weather and complete safety. You can wear whatever watch you. I've left my Ferrari unlocked so many times in public. Like, walked away from it and chilled somewhere, and then came back so many times. I've left my key in the Ferrari, dude. Like, I'm not joking. You know, like, this is not a regular thing. I did it, you know, only a couple of times, but I did it knowing that it was no big deal. It's standard. And that's really nice. The hell is Footprint? It's like looking at... Do you know what? You should Google it. I don't want to... I don't want to go into it. But it's a very nice advanced form of analysis, which, you know, anybody could learn, but it's very cool. It's very cool. The tax reasons, exactly, yeah. Is it expensive to live there compared with Europe? Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, it really depends, right? Like, a lot of people, like my age, they go to Dubai and they want something crazy. You know, like they want like a penthouse. They want what they've seen on Instagram and YouTube. And yeah, if you want that, you're paying big bucks. Like, you know, minimum, I'd say, like, got to do the currency conversions. Like, if you want like a really good one bed in a really good area, it's not going to be less than 2,700 a month US. So that counts as expensive, I think. You can get, like, it just depends on your standards, you know? Like, it really just depends on, like, what you're okay to not have and what you're okay to have. But yeah, if you're trying to be luxury with it, it's gonna cost something. But, you know, they're always making, what I really like about Dubai is there was always like new developments that are interesting investments. You know, and you can buy them off plan, so like before they're constructed, and you can buy them for like 40% of their list price at the beginning, and then you pay like 20% every 6 months thereafter until the property is, you know, finished. I mean, until you pay up the full amount. And, you know, usually there's like a final lump sum at, you know, collection of the keys. So that's a nice way to like finance a house without having credit, right? Like, you don't need credit for that. And it's not like the credit game in the UAE is not like what you would be used to in the West. And especially not what you would be used to in a country like America. you know, like it's just like it's there, but it's not anywhere near the same in the UAE. So you know, you got to keep that in mind, but that's where other interesting things like those off-plan properties come in. And you know, then you get a golden visa out of it too, you know, which is really good. I want a golden visa myself for Dubai, and that's one of the best things I ever did, getting a golden visa, because it's a lot of freedom, you know, that's 10 years. And for people that, you know, because a lot of people in Dubai, which I really love about Dubai, dude, a lot of people in Dubai live in other places for the whole year, and they're just very wealthy. So, you know, that'll be places like Ibiza, or I know a guy that, you know, lives full time in Beverly Hills, California. You know, he is a very cool guy. You know, but he's always in Dubai, like every week, every 2 weeks or something, you know, and obviously tons of people that are full time in England, you know, full time in any European country. But then they just kind of touch base in Dubai, right? And it's a transient place, right? It's a place that a lot of people move to and a lot of people move out of. That happens less now. A lot of people stay because, you know, Dubai has turned into a place that people want to stay in, and it's become more attractive for retirees and stuff like that. Is there an exit tax? No, sir. No, sir. They're not going to give you silly fucking taxes like that to pay. No. You're going to pay a 5% base consumption VAT, so sales tax. And there's sin taxes, like alcohol is at a massive tax, for example, stuff like that. But who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not a big deal. And what else? You know, tiny like house transfer. There are fees, you know. A lot of the fees that you end up paying are not scalable on your income. That's the nice thing. So they're just fixed. And the fees are large. People consider them large. I don't think they're that large at all. But again, that's relative. But I just don't think that they're anywhere near as bad as people make them out to be. Because, you know, the whole point of Dubai, like, you don't move to Dubai to be struggling financially, do you? You know, that might be a temporary episode, but you're not moving there to struggle. You know, you're moving there to get very rich and to stay rich. And in those cases, yeah, I mean, you'll be grateful. Luis, love my life in Miami Beach. You been here? Yes, I have, dude. Yes, I have. I don't really like Miami, though. I don't know. I didn't see Miami properly. I will come back again and I will see it properly. Brother thinks this is US where you pay death taxes. No, but like inheritance taxes and all that stuff is very common in the West. It's very common. And I was thinking about it today, you know, I didn't inherit anything and I don't really think I will. I mean, I might inherit like a tiny bit, but, you know, I was like, you know, my dad didn't inherit anything, you know, like we just, you know, we're not well off like that. But I was like, shit. I wouldn't like knowing that some fucking greedy leftist gay government is sending my money after I'm dead to fight a war somewhere else or to fund some stupid shit. I would be... Inheritance tax is disgusting. You're saying it yourself. Like, like, I was thinking about it. I was like, you fucking died and they still want to take your money. Like, what the fuck? Nah. And I was thinking about it. I was like, who would say yes to this? Who would say no to this? And I was like, you know, okay, so I understand why, you know, socialists would have been like, actually, you know, nobody deserves to have this much money, and, you know, like, you're dead now, what do you need to do with it? You know, like, these are the kind of like really silly arguments that those people would make. And I can understand why people would believe that, because if you're poor and everybody else you know is poor, and, you know, and I grew up like that, so I get it. Like, yeah, you're going to think of some really stupid shit like that. You know, like, there are going to be really stupid beliefs like that. Like, I had those beliefs growing up. I genuinely was a fucking socialist when I was a kid. Obviously, like every kid. You know, like every teenager, you got to go through your little socialist communist phase. So I understand. But I don't think, I think inheritance tax is very disrespectful. I mean, yeah. Yeah, because, like, even when the kid is going to sell the house, they're going to pay tax on that. Like, you're still getting your tax, you greedy fucking government. You're still getting your tax paying, income. But does it really need to happen when somebody dies? That part is messed up. But again, it's like, it's not about the government. It's like, who the hell voted this in? Like, who thought this was a good idea? It's like, oh, okay. A lot of people. Like, a lot of people actually sympathize with this. And again, I understand why. I've been there too. I need to get out of Canada. It's a disaster here. Yeah, dude, you do. You do need to get out of Canada. Have I visited Brazil? No, sir. Should I? I don't really like traveling these days, I'll be honest. I don't like traveling to new places, put it that way. I know all the places I like now. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really... I did the whole Wanderlust thing for so long. Hardly anywhere to run. For what? Do you mean, like, with taxes? I mean, there's only one solution to taxes, bro. You just gotta make more money. By the way, Bitcoin's not really doing anything. I've lost count of how many countries I've been to, bro. I don't know. Not that many. Like, not like other travelers. Probably like 20 or 30 max. Probably not even 30. I don't know. Europe has a lot of countries. I've been to many of the countries in Europe. But honestly, yeah, probably like 20. Which I know is a lot, but it's actually not that much. Like, considering other but like, I look at the other countries people have been to, and it's like, okay, but how different are these countries, really? Like, I'm running serious risks of offending people, but like, a lot of countries' borders have been completely arbitrarily drawn, and one country is not too different from the other, or it is, but they're different within the countries themselves, not across the borders, because of how badly the borders were drawn. So again, it's like, well, what are you seeing? Is it just to say that I've been to, 40 countries, 50 countries, 100 countries? Is that all this is about? Because I don't think that's particularly interesting. Need to go back to my Prague one day. That's my birthplace. Haven't been there since I was 2. That's very cool, dude. I bet that's a very nice place. Great to see such a clued up young fellow doing well. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Solana taking the cake today? It is, isn't it? Let's see how Solana's doing now, if it's kind of changed in performance at all. No, not really. It's doing the same thing as when we checked earlier. Nope, yeah, same thing. But that's still nice. That's still very nice. And we got Bitcoin on the right trying to do something. We'll see if anything does come of it. But alright, I am probably just going to call it there anyway, because we have been going for nearly 2 hours. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I thought this was like an hour long. That's pretty good. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in, ladies and gents. It's been another all-time high breakout stream, sort of. And we'll be back as soon as something else interesting happens. So make sure that you are subscribed with those bell icons checked, that you have hit up those likes. I feel like we're going to start seeing countries split apart potentially. Left versus right, socialist BS versus free capitalism. Well, will we? Do we want that? We don't really want that, do we? Wouldn't we rather just educate people and get people rich? I think that's a better approach. But maybe I'm being too naive. Maybe we're past that point. I don't think we're past that point. I think it's always worth trying. Educate people, get them rich. Or maybe just get them rich. Because they'll educate themselves. Do you know what I'm saying? A lot of people just need the pressure to be lifted off their chest, and then they can flourish a little bit. It's overly hopeful in North America. I know, dude. But America's got the best chance. America's the only big country that's still generating value consistently on a large scale. So, America's doing well. You just found the channel? Well, welcome. Welcome to the channel, dude. You've missed the whole live stream. But go ahead and rewind. It was a good one. It was a very good live stream. All right, ladies and gents, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, BBL Doctor, for the infinite blessings. Thank you, 𝐂𝐷𝗓. Appreciate your time, boss. I appreciate you too, sir. Thank you, Reeve. And we'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.